All right, we're here with Stanford senior Alanna Smith here in the summer. Cardinal getting in some workouts and some practices, and I guess let's kind of start there with the idea that it's kind of time to close the book on last year's team, and this year's team is starting to form. What's that process like for you as you go into your last year?
I would say it's so much fun, and I'm just making the most of it right now because I know it is the last summer that I'll spend here at Stanford with the Stanford women's basketball team, and it's just an awesome opportunity to get to know the freshmen and just kind of realign what we want to identify ourselves as a team.
And in terms of who left last season, and you've talked a lot about the impact Kale had on this team and on you, has it set in that there's life without Kale and what you have to kind of take up from that?
I mean, I think it's been forced upon us that there has to be a life without Kale, but it also creates an opportunity for someone to step up and fulfill that role for us, and I think we have more than capable people on the team to do that. Kayla was aggressive, she got rebounds, she was a leader, and I think we have all of those things in the players that we have right now. So I'm excited to see who will step up to that role. Yeah.
And then in terms of your game, if we could just kind of pick an area offensively and defensively that you're kind of focusing on during this summer period, what would you say?
I think one thing that Tara's been trying to drill into me this summer is ball handling. She wants me out on the perimeter a little bit more, and just tightening up my handle is something that I'm really working on. Defensively, it would be guarding guards. I think having someone with height who can move their feet and keep up with guards is pretty valuable, so that's something that I'm trying to do, just work on like foot speed and yeah, things like that.
Have you had an opportunity to really look at last season's games, and wondering what stood out to you in terms of your own personal development throughout the season and what you saw from this team?
Yeah, definitely. Just like looking at our progression from the start of the season to the end of the season, especially if you look at games from Italy when we were playing very early on, you can just see that we got a lot more comfortable with each other and we got to know each other a lot better, and we could read each other better, and we were working with a new offense too, so we got to know the offense better, what looks we were going to get, and I feel like it's only going to go up from here as well. So we're super excited, and hopefully you'll be able to see the progression this season too.
And then gotta ask you about the newcomers, because obviously they're here, it's part of being a new team, and a lot of attention being paid to them for what they were able to do in high school. So just kind of Lacey, Lexi, and Jenna, just kind of one thing that's kind of standing out about them early on.
Yeah, I think I'll start with Jenna, just point guard that we need to fill that spot. She seems super comfortable. She's doing really well in practice, and she's getting the offense really well. I think it's really hard coming in as a freshman and being thrown into offense, because usually that's what Tara does. You're just thrown into it. You don't really get a beginner's course. It's kind of like, here's the offense, do it. And they're all doing an awesome job, and obviously we're here to help them as well. But yeah, Jenna just seems really cool, calm, and collected, and I think that's going to be really good for us. Lexi and Lacey, I'm working on trying to figure out which one's which right now, but.
So we're not the only ones, see?
Yeah, it's very hard to tell the difference, but I'm going to get it. They're doing awesome too. They're great shooters, aggressive, and they're going to be really good for us, I think, in terms of filling that wing spot that Britt left. And yeah, again, they're doing really well with the offense, and all get along so well. They're really nice girls, and I'm super excited to get to know them more. Yeah.
And then I have to ask, because your three-point shooting and your overall shooting pretty much stayed exactly the same, and Tara has called you pretty much one of the better three-point shooters on the team. So I just have to ask, at the foul line this past year, what was that, basically?
Yeah, free throw shooting is an extremely mental thing, and I think that I just got into this weird state every time I shot a free throw, and it starts early, and then once you get into that state, it's really, really hard to get out of. And obviously I'm a capable shooter, So it's just working on the mental side of free throw shooting, and that's something that Tara's really helped me with too. She brought in a professor that's working with mindfulness and everything, Professor Fred Turner. Not Turner, sorry, Professor Fred. I can't remember what his last name is. But he really gave us some good strategies in terms of just like being in the moment, not worrying and everything. And I think that's something that's helped me, and hopefully you'll see next season that my free throw percentage will be better.
And then just one last thing. You talked about Britt and Kale, and as I'm sure you're going to have the expectation to be one of those kind of leaders, what is something that they did that you'd like to take into a position of leadership that you're going to have now?
I think what they did was just create a real sense of comfort within the team. No one was afraid to ask questions. Criticism was taken really well. And that's something that I want to carry on as well. I want to be approachable. I want to be someone that they can come to if they need anything, questions about offense or anything about school or anything like that. Just trying to keep that going, keep that tradition alive. Yeah.
All right, perfect. That is Stanford senior Alanna Smith. Thanks, Alanna.
No worries.